Has anyone seen Parker? Who? Nope. Spider-Man. Parker! Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo. What was that? And if you missed this week's Playday, go back and check that out if you want to see more about Jonah. I did the same thing for a Casual Friday Professor X, and I'd planned on doing the same for Jonah, but it didn't make it into there. So today, I went and messed around a little bit. That'll placehold until we get an official one, because you know it's coming, right? I mean, I can't even remember if they've announced one or not, but whatever. It's another Toy News Week. Some good news, some bad news, you know, news in general. Take, for instance, the fact that we're, at this point, pretty used to the Medicom MAFEX line having kind of a sliding schedule. Whenever they announce a release date, you can pretty much add a month or two to that. But when you add the coronavirus into the mix, things are gonna get pushed back even more. This week it was announced that both the Medicom MAFEX Marvel Comics Cyclops and the DC movie Shazam have been pushed to April. They were delayed already, but with factories in the state they are at the moment, there's just nothing that can be done. Not a biggie. Like I said, we expect this kind of thing, and it's at the end of it's just toys, you know? As much as I love this hobby and our little plastic playthings, they are just action figures. So, I mean, I can live with a date being pushed back a little bit. The same goes for the Medicom MAFEX Avengers Infinity War Thor, but it's been pushed to May. The original release date was actually before Scott and Billy, but for some reason it's now past them. And I can't help but think that it may be all the accessories or all the extra parts or even their face printing tech. As good as MAFEX has become, they still have a problem when it comes to real-life human faces. They've been getting progressively better with that kind of thing, but this may be their chance to say, hey, we're knocking it out of the park this time. Some Facebook groups are reporting that it's actually coming at the end of March, but Ami itself lists it for May now, so I'm to believe Ami. Again, it's fine. It'll get here when it gets here. We've been waiting this long. We can wait a little bit longer. Not a big deal. We may be seeing a flood of product come out once this virus thing is taken care of, though. It may just be like, there's all releasing now, no! Whew, it may be a little bit wacky. I was scrolling through Instagram the other day, and I ran across the original sculpts for the upcoming Hasbro Ghostbusters Plasma Series Venkman and Spengler. And man, I love me some Grayskull. I love me a grayscale look at the figures, the original sculpt, before they put the paint on it. You know, it gives you a better look at what's actually under there. Seeing it raw is just super interesting. It's part of the process, and I love that part. We pretty much knew the suits between the 4 Ghostbusters were going to be a reuse, but seeing it here, where you can flip between the two in the same stance, haha, stance. You flip between the two, flip. You can tell it's definite reuse, except for Venkman has his pants untucked from his boots, which is accurate, so there you go. The sculptor does note that the portraits were done by another member of the team. He just did the bodies. So, either way, it's a nice little look into the process. I found this promotional image of McFarlane Toys Arkham Asylum, Batman, and Joker, showing, you know, the full body, which we saw at Toy Fair, but some of the accessories too. It was rumored that this was going to be Walmart exclusive, since I think people found the listing on there first, but I'm hearing people putting their pre-order in at GameStop too, so it's not exclusive, I guess, is what we could take from that story. This makes me realize that it's been a long time since I've played this game though, but such a sucker for Joker figures, and this one does look good. Sticking with McFarlane Toys, I posted my review of the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn figure earlier this week, and if you don't want to go back and watch that, to sum it up, it's kick-ass. I think I'm still on the lookout for a cloth cape for it, but again, that comes down to personal preference. Otherwise, it is just hand candy. Oh man, you don't want to stare into the eyes too long. You start losing pieces of yourself. The figure releases this Sunday, March the 8th at 400 Walmart stores and then also Walmart.com. There's a link in the description to an article on McFarlane's site listing those 400 stores, but if you don't get them at those stores or you miss it on Walmart.com, on March 13th, it'll also go up on Amazon and GameStop and probably other retailers too. So don't worry too much if you miss it that initial release day, because on top of that, Walmart's not really known for getting their product out on the release date, at least anymore. They used to be real good about it. And lately it's just been like, hey, you're supposed to have this stuff out. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm looking for toys. You're a grown-ass man. Hey, don't you judge me. This week, we got actual pictures of the rumored Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Sunstreaker and Trailbreaker. Ooh, I love me some G1 goodness, and this line has been killing it in that department. They look fantastic. What more can I say? And it's great to get new characters in the line, especially after getting rehashes, or well, I guess you could say upgrades, of Starscream and Optimus Prime, and re-releases of Hound and Mirage. Yeah. I want the new characters. Give me more of that. I actually found, well, the only thing on the shelf at my local Best Buy this week was an Earthrise Optimus Prime. And I had to get it because it seems like a good upgrade. That's how they get you. It's the Darth Vader syndrome. They keep releasing stuff that is damn good, but then they go, oh, hey, this one's a little bit better. Huh? You want that too? Ooh, I've been waiting for this one. The Mezco 1/12 Collective DC Mr. Freeze is what I'd consider my perfect Victor. It's a bit retro, it's a bit modern, it's a bit realistic, it's a bit imaginary. It's all the things that I wanted in a Mr. Freeze figure. On top of that, it's my favorite kind of 1/12 Collective figure itself. The mix of cloth and sculpt, it's just a baggy suit under some nicely sculpted armor bits. When it comes to Mezco, I'm okay with the superhero suits, but this right here, this is what I look for. The loose-fitting clothing here just goes hand in hand with the scaled-down soft goods. I hear a lot of gripes about the light-up feature, which is the backpack and it's coming out and but after how well it worked with cable, I'm okay with it here. Unfortunately, it seems to add $40 to the base price. I'm just not cool with it. Cool. Yeah, you got it. Freeze comes with a freeze ray cannon that also includes lights, a freeze ray handgun, you know, for those tight, hard to reach spots, ice blast and freeze effects, several sets of hands, a clear dome helmet, removable for that look and to actually pose the head whenever you're trying to take pictures and stuff, because ding, ding, ding. And then two heads. One that knows you're going to be late returning that library book, and another for when you do end up late returning your library book. That's a penalty fee, mister. It also says the packaging is a cryo chamber shaped tin with a frosted window revealing the inside. So that could be a nice display piece or part of a diorama, whatever you want to use that for. It's extra value. And at $120, you're looking for all the value you can find. It's expected to come out later this year, but you know how the schedule is. It's only been a couple of weeks since Jazwares at Toy Fair revealed some new upcoming Fortnite Legendary Series figures, and then 2 weeks later, Amazon, boom, order them, get them, done. That's crazy. Available is Sentinel, or as Matt K called him, the Gundam Robot Chicken. Beef Boss is your worst fast food nightmare, looking like Ronald and Mary McCheese had a psycho love child or something. Ruin, you look at him and you don't know what's going on here. It kind of looks like Molten Man from Far From Home, but it also looks like a knight of some kind. There's something going on, but for some reason, you look at it and your eyes kind of go away from it, and you're like, I can't tell what. And then Galaxy is the one that caught my eye at Toy Fair. I mean, you already know I'm a sucker for translucent plastic, but you throw some glitter in there, hoo! I'm there. But I can tell you secrets that will blow your mind. And if you missed our coverage of Toy Fair, there were more characters than this shown, but we weren't allowed to take any pictures, but I do have a list. And these aren't going to be the pictures of the actual figures. This is the skins from the game, but Jazwares being Jazwares and what we've come to expect of the line, this is essentially what they're going to look like. With joints. We can soon expect Fish Stick, Frozen Raven, Eternal Voyager, Ghoul Trooper, Drift Level 5, and X-Lord Scavenger. And it's just going to be another cool little wave of crazy looking figures. Jazwares. Man. We knew it was coming. Bandai putting out another SH Figuarts Black Widow for her upcoming movie, but man, who knew that they would put this much emphasis on Taskmaster? For not seeing a lot of him in the trailers, they're sure going full bore with the action figure. I know it's not everybody's favorite look, but the more I stare at it, the more I feel like it's a natural progression of the look for the character. In the comics, we went from the classic skull and blues and oranges and whites with the cape and the hood to the Udon design, which was blue and white and very tactical. And then the movie version feels like another step beyond that. Like, they kept the Udon elements, they brought in the color scheme from the classic design, and then added some MCU. Mashed it all up. In some pictures, he looks like an extreme snowboarder, but again, MCU. But still hints of Taskmaster. It's a weird design. The figure also gives us a tease of some of the superhero power sets he's going to be emulating in the movie. Besides a gun and a sword, he's going to have something looking like Cap's shield, he's going to have Hawkeye's bow and arrow, and he also seems to have Black Panther's claws. Now when I first saw this, I thought, I'm just going with the Marvel Legends version. That's cool, until I saw the hood down version. We know how action figure hoods usually work. It's going to be hindering, it's going to get in the way, it's going to look a little bit tall, but if you can take that hood and put it back, action figure wise, it's going to make for a lot of posing. But that also takes away another element of Taskmaster and moves him more into nameless merc territory. But I may be okay with that. But then as far as Black Widow goes, I was on the They're Not Dolls podcast last night, and we talked about this, and we all kind of agreed that we've gotten quite a few SH Figure Arts Black Widows at this point, and this is just another one. Just different elements to the costume and a different hairstyle. Don't get me wrong, it looks great, although her face may be a little bit big for her head, but again, that may just be the pictures. Otherwise, accessories, it's looking pretty good. Natasha runs about $60, Barney Toastmaster runs about $65, and they're set to release in June. And then finally, this one was kind of a no-brainer. Hasbro announcing a fan channel exclusive Marvel Legends Great Beast. I mean, the body's there, the versions in the comics. While I feel like the body is a little bit too big for Hank at this point in his career, I don't know. The amount of appearances he actually made with gray fur, very limited. So I kind of feel like it works in its favor on that aspect. He wasn't around long enough, so hey, having a big one, it's okay. But this release gives us the book that we always felt like that one hand was sculpted for, along with the glasses that we always felt like the other hand was sculpted for. I got those reversed, didn't I? It's on this side and on this side. You know what I mean. The new head is pretty nifty, though, giving Hank more personalization. It's not a raging beast like the first head we got. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they release this in blue someday. Maybe a deluxe release. He comes with all the same accessories, maybe a lab coat, some beakers, some burners, you know. But like I said, fan channel exclusive, so if you don't want this, you don't have to buy it. You don't need it for a Build-A-Figure piece. You don't need it if you order it by the case. It's its own single release. It comes with nothing else. You can pass on by. And like I've said before, this is the perfect kind of release for fan channel. It's interesting, and the people who want it can get it, but if you don't want it, just whoop, go on to the next. It's not taking a spot in the main line. Of course, the argument could be made that it's taking a spot in the fan channel line, but again, this is what we're getting from fan channel. This is expected. $20 estimated to release in June. And that's it for this week. Short and sweet. If I missed anything, we'll swing back around to it on the next episode. If you're interested in seeing any of these pictures bigger without me all in front of them, or wanting pre-order info, more information in general, this will all be posted on the Fwoosh front page Saturday at noon. Like I mentioned a minute ago, I was on the They're Not Dolls. That's really hard to say. That's like the 16th time I've tried this. The They're Not Dolls podcast last night. And we went for, quite a while, but you know me, I'm a rambling man. If you're interested in a happy action figure good time, you can click this right here and go check them out. But if you enjoyed this Fwoosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe, or whatever the platform you're on allows. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or just in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. Dorkside Toys is sponsoring a weekly giveaway over there too, so if you're interested in free toys, give it a look. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. The They're Not Dolls podcast. The They're Not Dolls podcast. They're Not Dolls podcast.